Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while. Hopefully, you've enjoyed that video on logical chess move by move. Hopefully, you bought the book and went over the games over the board. Today, I'm going to do a different type of video, not covering that book. Today's video is going to focus on recognizing your opponent's threats. Again, as a beginner, most beginners blunder because they fail to recognize their opponent's threats. That's why they lose a piece, and losing a piece, getting checkmated, getting in a worse bad position. And again, there's different types of threats, right? Checkmating threat, tactical threat, hanging piece, a safe capture, right? A positional threat where your opponent gets, their pieces into your territory, and now you're getting pushed around. Now you have to defend, you have to retreat, and now your opponent has created weaknesses or targets on your territory. And then the safe capture, right? When you capture, are you sure that's really a safe capture? Now, based on that capture, now does your opponent have any threats? Right, recognizing your opponent's checks, captures, and threats. So that is a skill that is trainable, right? And again, as the video says, the title here in the video, as a beginner, you should be able to keep the game going, recognizing your opponent's threats, and then assessing if it's a high priority. If you're gonna deal with that, are you gonna counterattack? Are you gonna ignore that threat? Do you have a bigger threat? So you should be able to do that and keep the game going, right? Because if you don't, then you're gonna lose pretty quick, right? You're gonna lose a piece, get checkmated, start losing pawns, getting in bad positions. Another thing is that most puzzles, right? When you start working on puzzles, most puzzles give you a shortcut, and they're attacking puzzles, right? It's you to win a piece. It's you to checkmate. You're the one checkmate. You're the one winning pieces. So mentally, you take that shortcut. I don't have to worry about what my opponent is doing because I'm about to win a piece. I'm about to checkmate. I'm about to win some pawns. I'm about to gain some type of advantage, right? But in a real game, you do have to recognize your opponent's threats, right? And I'll use the analogy of a car, right? If a car has a lot of horsepower but no brakes, how fast are you really gonna go? I mean, if you try to go fast, you're gonna end up crashing. And you can think of it as the same way in chess. So if you train all these checkmating patterns, all these long tactics, but in the game, if you really can't use them because you fail to recognize your opponent's threats and now you're busy defending, or you lose a piece, well then you just crashed, right? So you kind of have to be aware of the tactics training you do, keep the ratio balance, right? For I'll give you an example. A popular course on Chessable is Common Chess Patterns. Mostly everybody has done it, right? Because it's really popular. I haven't done it, but again, you should follow that up with another course like Blunderbusters, also by the same author, but it's focused on recognizing checkmates, opponent's threats. So you really want to balance it out and train both aspects. Because and then I have this puzzle here, right? Just an example. We'll take it as a real game. In a real game, your opponent moves, and you should be recognizing, getting a grip on the board. What did my opponent just do? What pieces are what squares are my opponent's pieces attacking? Right, and we'll go through that whole process. Does my opponent have any checks, captures, and threats? Right, so let's go ahead and go through the whole thing. Right, the knight is covering these squares, but the pawns cover these squares. Same thing, this pawn is covering these squares, but they're defended by my pawn. The bishop has this diagonal here, is attacking this diagonal as well. There's a potential here for a sacrifice. The queen is attacking here, defending this pawn. can slide over. Again, this is a checkmating threat right here. My opponent's rooks are very active compared to my rooks are not very active. My queen is on the king's queen side, doesn't really have much going on here, right? The knight is here on the king side helping defend. So it looks like, it looks like my opponent has more going on than I do, right? So I'm kind of have to play and react and kind of be proactive to some of my opponent's threats. For example, now I have to see if my opponent can go queen g2, and then I'll have to defend with rook g8 or knight e8. And then now the tree branch gets wider, right? Now you look at your different moves you can do, and then now you think about your opponent's reply to that moves. Again, pick your three best moves, and then you pick one, your best one, and you're gonna go with that. Right, so what can maybe my opponent can also go rook to here and push my queen out. Right, so that's just an example. And that's in a real game, right? So that's why even if you're doing regular puzzles or some type of other word calculation work, it's always helpful to train this aspect, recognizing threats, right? Checks, captures, and threats for your opponent. Right? Does my opponent have any checks, captures, and threats? If you're using another technique from Chessable, like let's say the clamp technique, I haven't done that course, but it does. I've seen that it incorporates a very different variation of checks, captures, and threats. It's the clamp technique or the burger technique. So you have to implement that for your opponent. Does my opponent have anything? And then you assess that. Is it high priority? Is it not? What am I going to do? And pretty much train that skill. It'll help you keep the game going for longer. So then you can also have chances to win, right, and not lose, and catch your opponent off guard with your own tactics. But that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want to see more of logical chess move by move, or let me know if you want to see more of this type of video of threats. Leave it in the comment, and I will see you in the next video.